Okay, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our webinar this afternoon from the Minnesota Learning Commons. We are going to hear from the Minnesota State IT Center for Excellence this afternoon, and I'm really excited about all of the different opportunities that they offer to K-12, higher education, business and industry. I think you're going to really learn some things that will be helpful for you. My name is Mary Messicomer. I work for a government service agency called Sourcewell, and I am the administrator for the Minnesota Learning Commons. I coordinate all their activities and meetings and help plan the summit that we have each summer. The Minnesota Learning Commons, for those of you who aren't familiar, is a partnership and collaboration between Minnesota State, the University of Minnesota, and the Minnesota Department of Education. And if you'd like to learn more on the slides, there is a link to our website, or you can always reach out to me with questions. But our mission is to promote high quality online blended digital learning and support educators in those environments. And we offer three primary areas of focus: professional development, collaborative projects, and advocacy for effective digital learning and practice. Before we get Melissa, our speaker, started, I would like to just do a couple little housekeeping things. Please feel free to have your camera on or off, whatever you're most comfortable with. You can use the chat during the for questions during the presentation. Melissa, it's up to you if you want me to ask questions while you're talking, or if you prefer me to hold them to the end. You can just, or if you want to pause and see if there's questions every so often, however you want to do it.
Yeah, you can just let me know as we go along.
Okay, perfect. And then I ask that you please mute unless you are asking a question or speaking. Just a note, the webinar is being recorded, and there will be certificates of attendance available after the webinar, should you want those for licensure or any other purpose. And with that, I am going to go ahead and welcome our guest speaker today, Melissa. She is Director of Strategic Initiatives at the Minnesota Center for IT Excellence, or I should say of Excellence. I'm sorry, I kept swapping the for and the of.
Oh, no, not a problem.
Okay, and I'll come back to that later. And so, Melissa, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to you. And go ahead. You should have screen sharing capability. I'll stop sharing and just go ahead and get started.
Perfect. Well, thank you, everyone, for letting me come and chat with you today. A lot of people aren't entirely sure about who we are and what we do. So that's why I try and come to these types of meetings to just kind of give you guys an overview of what the Minnesota State IT Center of Excellence is. So we have a motto that we help individuals get a foot in the door so they have a seat at the table. One of the big pillars for us is getting IT access and opportunities in the hands of students, workforce members, community members, in urban, rural, and tribal organizations, places that typically have had less access in the past. And so all of the programs that we offer are low cost, no cost. There's actually very few things that we have at any type of cost. But the Minnesota State IT Center of Excellence was started during the Tim Pawlenty governor administration. He identified 8 areas within the state that we're going to need specific focus on in regards to career and industry enhancement. So IT, manufacturing, engineering. We have 2 agriculture centers of excellence, energy, healthcare, transportation, and I'm forgetting the last one, or maybe I did say 9. we're all scattered throughout the state of Minnesota. So we are state agencies, but we also all fall under the Minnesota State College system. So we all report and work closely with a host school. So for the IT Center of Excellence, we are the only ones that are located within the metro area, and we are hosted by Metro State. So that's why you'll see I have a Metro State email address. We do a lot within the Metro State community. And our office is actually housed at the main campus in St. Paul. So we are a small but mighty team. So it's myself, our executive director, Janice. We have an office operations coordinator, Elise, and Christy Zachariason is our part-time communications manager. As none of these statistics are new, I'm sure to everyone in this group, but Minnesota's ranking last in high school for computer science offerings. And so that's really where we're trying to step in and help provide those opportunities to K-12 schools and other individuals to help kind of bring our numbers up in those rankings. Positive side is that 75% of the graduates from Minnesota stay in Minnesota. So we're retaining our own students. We just have to try and get them that pipeline into IT education. So we have the 5th highest in the nation for retaining our students through employment. Tech is hugely lacking in diversity, both with women as well as with BIPOC members. So again, that's why we are trying to get as much into the hands of those demographics as humanly possible. So if the tech access was mirrored across other occupations, it would be 23%, 2.3%, and 1.9%. So an additional 28,000, technologists within Minnesota. And we are not graduating students at a rate high enough within the state. So currently we're sitting right at about 92,000 positions lacking in the state of Minnesota, both with retirement and new positions needed. And we are, last I heard, graduating about 1,000 to 2,000 a year. So we are definitely lacking in being able to fill in that gap. And so that's why we're doing a lot of outreach within workforce for upskilling, community groups to help with career changers and people wanting to enter this workforce. So before I hop into the programs, any questions to begin with on just kind of our overall who we are? Okay. So as far as workforce development goes, we work in upskilling. So we do a lot with certificate training, customized training content, employable skills, and computer tech licensure. So there's a big push in the state of Minnesota to start training in teachers to get CTE licensure because they're going to be trying to embed IT in as many courses as possible. And so we're looking at a huge gap in teachers that currently hold a licensure to teach CTE courses. So we have partnered with Lakes Country Co-op up in northern Minnesota with their CTE initiative to help train educators and to get that CTE licensure. And I'll kind of touch on that a little bit later. We work a lot, like I said, with diverse and underserved populations, non-traditional education options. We like to provide a pipeline into Minnesota State colleges, but we realize that that's not always the first immediate step for someone. Sometimes people want to get certifications, get that first job, and they need to start working. So how can we help bridge that gap to get them into the career that they would like, start earning some money, and then we can transfer that into a Minnesota State or a Minnesota college degree. And then we work a lot with high schools around college placement and learning. So we do a lot of student experimental events So we do a lot of AI hackathons, data derbies, a lot with drone camps. We do career pathway work with schools. So again, with that link to the Minnesota State degrees, we get into schools and provide content for 9 to 12 to help get students graduating with a credential and not just their high school diploma, but something that they can leave and hop into the workforce with. And then we also work a lot with industries around internships, placement, as well as career exploration. So I kind of touched on the CTE training before. Like I said, we're offering it through Lake Country Service Co-op. They offer a boot camp to help kind of guide instructors through all the requirements needed for licensure. Those requirements are an AA or AS degree, 5 years of teaching experience, and a certification. So the certifications are either Google, which runs through us, Adobe, Autodesk, Cisco, CompTIA, or Certiport. And this is a Pillsby approved program. And so there's information directly on this slide of how to contact Lake Country Service Co-op for more information on how to get involved with that program. Another program that I'm pretty proud of that we launched earlier this year is our cybersecurity training program. Everyone, unless you live under a rock, knows that we're getting hacked at insane numbers, not just large corporations. We're seeing small schools, small hospitals, small businesses, agriculture, as well as individuals in their own personal devices getting targeted and hacked by these criminals. So we created a training to help try and combat and provide a little more information and protection for people. So the first step of that is our free community-based training. So that is intended for just kind of the average person to learn how to protect their personal devices within their home office. So it talks about how to identify risks, how to make safe passwords, how to keep your devices safe. We go through a lot of real life examples, as well as some interactive scenarios that we kind of try and talk through. Individuals also leave with a checklist that they can take back to their home and work through those items as they're with their home devices. Or if, you know, a lot of individuals that have taken this class are new to the internet. They're also, some of them are older, and so they don't have someone right there handy to help them kind of walk through this stuff. So we wanted to make sure that they had a checklist that they could take with them to look at. They also receive a password tracker that they can write down their password so that they can keep them in a safe and secure location. The next one that we offer is for employees. Unfortunately, 95% of all hacks that happen at a business is because of us. So we are all clicking on things we should not be clicking on, which then puts the companies we work for at risk. So this is just to help employees learn a little bit more about how to keep themselves safe while within their office. And so we go through scams and malware, password authentication, and how to protect proprietary company information. And then the third one is fundamentals of cybersecurity for small businesses. This is really geared towards IT professionals. It goes really deep into, you know, risk assessments, data encryption, compliance, vendor management. We really wanted to get training into the hands of IT professionals that are working for small rural school districts where they might be the only IT person for 5 schools or 2 schools. Or they're the only one that covers their tribal healthcare system or something like that. Places that don't typically have the financial ability or capacity to send an individual to get this type of training if they didn't receive it potentially at school, because now we're kind of in a very different environment with cyber risk. But all of these are free. They're all offered online, self-paced, self-guided. You can go right to our website and register yourself for free. Take them if you like. They're open source. The Becoming Cyber Savvy is self-paced. It is also taught at the second Thursday of every month. I teach it from 2 to 3 o'clock. It's also in a PDF format. So if it's something that you have a group that might be interested in, we are free or happy to send it to you and you can administer the training, or we can provide someone to administer that as well. So any questions at this point?
Did I miss the link for the site you just referenced to take those trainings?
For the cybersecurity ones?
Yeah.
It'll be at the end. The link
Okay.
to our website will be at the very end.
I'll send it out too, Summer.
Okay. So like I just said, second Thursday of every month from 2 to 3, I do facilitate that training via Zoom. And then here is that website. If you want to jot it down now, you are free to do that. Another thing that we offer is we have a library of over 160 course modules that are free access to individuals within the MnState system through D2L, or they're available to be downloaded through like a Common Course cartridge and uploaded into whatever platform, LMS platform that you use. So they range from game theory, data, cyber, kind of range from fundamental to advanced. Great for entry-level courses for 11th and 12th grade. They're perfect for building in to create an IT pathway. The nice thing is with over 160 courses, we're able to go through them with you and help you kind of custom build a package of courses that would work well for your students. And again, free of charge. We do offer certifications. I've kind of touched on this a little bit before, but we have a few different certification options that we offer. We are partners with Cisco, so we offer Skills for All, which is a free online course catalog that, again, have courses ranging from beginner to advanced, things in cybersecurity, data, networking, free access. Typically most only take a few hours to complete. Some of the more advanced ones are a little bit longer. But again, they're a great way that you could take that content and kind of make a customized package of courses for students. We do offer Google certifications. Currently they're on our website. If an individual wants to take one off for $10 a cert, we do create cohort shells for organizations. So at your institution, if you want to put a cohort of students through, say, an IT support certification, you can let me know that. It's free of charge. We set you up with that course shell, and then you're able to partner with the students and help them through. It's a Coursera platform. So it's very easy to understand, easy to guide students through. I've had some high schools add additional hands-on exercises to help enhance the curriculum. I've had others that have had instructors strictly there to make sure there's no tech issues. You can really use these in a way that makes sense for your students. Excuse me. So you can see the ones we have listed here. We do have a new one that we just added today in AI Essentials. So that just got added. And like I said, these are easy for us to set up to send a cohort of students through. One other thing that we just launched this week that I don't have on here is we partnered with Cisco on their Cyber Learnathon. So it's a 7-course program that runs October through May of 2025. It's a prescribed sequence of courses that students or participants will take, culminates in a career pathway exam. It's a junior cybersecurity pathway exam that they take. Once they complete that, they're able to sit for their CCST exam through Cisco. Once they pass the CCST, they then get access to a career fair, employment resources, resume help, interview skills. They get a ton of additional access. That Learnathon kind of serves as that prep course for that higher level exam. So that is running now. And we have more information about that on our website under the cybersecurity tab. So this is kind of a general pathway that we have at the high school level. So it kind of runs from a 9th to 12th grade session. We start with introductory IT exploration. So that is a course that we run. We're actually in the middle right now of creating an updated version of that program. And it really is an introduction to IT. What are the different areas? It talks about, different careers in IT, goes around, the development of real world projects that students can use to help within those courses. And then from there, we've partnered with Minnesota Tech Network, or MTN, and they've created a program called Create. And these are practical real world training exercises with communications, metacognition, AI, and computation. They use a lot with robotics, art, technology, and energy to help enhance those IT skills. So MTN, we partner with them a lot, and they do a lot of our hackathons. So one example is they had a hackathon last week with students where they partnered with a group of engineers and a class of students, and they brought in parts, random parts, threw them on a table, and the students partnered with the engineers to create robots. And these robots all had field cameras in them. So not only did they build the robots, but they also had to program the robots to make them move and respond to commands and light up and do all sorts of cool stuff. So they bring that content and that opportunity into schools. Again, I've touched on those Google certifications. We currently partner with Education Design Lab to run career readiness, soft skill training. We're in the process of actually sunsetting that program and creating a new program that will comprise of about 30 quick hit soft skill modules that you can combine to create larger programs, or just allow students to do kind of those one hit soft skill training. Again, they'd be like 15-20 minute pieces that you can just interject in your existing courses. One program that I haven't touched on yet is Career Highways. So that is our career exploration platform. So it uses AI to help students create a resume. They create a digital portfolio, they do assessments, and then they're able to take all of that information, find careers that they like, job postings that they're interested in, and then the system maps them out a path of how to get there. So for instance, if a student really wants to be a robotics technician for NASA, I don't know if that's even a thing, but that's their dream job. They're able to then add that to this pathway, and it will tell them the programs they need, what schools offer them, certifications they need, and positions that they need in between. Because we all know it's very rare to leave high school, leave college, and the dream job is just one step from that point. Typically, we have a few steps we need to take in our path to get to kind of where we want to go. So it helps students, give them some type of framework or pathway to start on that journey. And then finally, we've with MTN as well, they offer paid and unpaid internship opportunities throughout the state. And so we partner with them to help bring those into the schools and into classrooms to give students those hands-on opportunities so that when they graduate, they're not just leaving with their diploma, they're leaving with a certification that's industry recognized, some soft skill access, and then also some real world training to help them, again, get that foot in the door. Here is all of our contact information. So our website is minnesotatechresources.org. MnState, ITCOE at metrostate.edu is our general mailbox that you can send any emails to or access. And then they will get routed to me. And then our phone number as well. So any questions? Kind of a lot of information to kind of throw at you.
Melissa, this is Mary. I did ask when I did registration if anyone had any questions they wanted to send in for you.
Sure.
And so there was one here. Where should I point students to find opportunities in IT, especially in rural areas? And I think you've
Okay.
really touched on all the programs, but um, maybe you have some additional resources related to that.
Yeah, so I think it kind of depends on what you're looking for in regards to opportunities. So if you're looking more on the employment side of things, I'm gonna hop into Career Highways here real quick so I can kind of show you um what that looks like. Career Highways is always kind of a great first step because again, it will give students access to um, current job postings. So we use AI weekly to bring in those current positions that are open. It also helps remove positions that are no longer available. And then if students find a position that they really like, then they're able to add that to their highway. So let me give you this quick demonstration of Career Highways. So this is kind of what the profile looks like that students create. So they add in their skills. We're in the middle of, can you guys see my screen? Are you
Yes.
so I have two screens, so I never know what's popping up on the right screen or not. So they're able to add in their experience, whether that's events they've participated in, programs, certifications that they have. They're able to add all of that. Skills, whether those are soft skills, technology skills, tools, say that they're a mechanic at the local shop, they can add that information in there as well. And this then creates a profile that they're able to share with employers, but is also searchable by employers. So employers are the ones that they pay every month to get access to the data that's on here, get access to the potential employee pool that they will pull from. And so that is how we're able to keep this free. And this is a nationwide used platform. So it's not just within the state of Minnesota. We're enrolling about 3,000 students a month.
Hi.
And then I kind of touched on those assessments that students can take. So we wanted to make assessments that were fun. A lot of assessments that students take in high school are repetitive, they're long. Students tend to lose interest halfway through and just start picking buttons and clicking boxes. And they get such a wide range of responses. And we really wanted to create something that doesn't just say, okay, this is a job you should have, but really gives students some insight into who they are, what drives them, what fuels them, and how that relates to a career path. One thing I did forget to mention is we do have a 6-part module of courses that go along with this so that you're able to guide students through the creation and kind of all the pieces of Career Highways and really help them understand why. There's journal entries students can do, a lot of discussion areas around, especially within the assessments, how can me and someone else have the same type but be very different people, kind of explores that, explores why do values matter when doing a job search. We kind of touch on the careers that they should do, but we throw in fun things. What's your motto? What public figures or fictional characters are like you? Famous quotes that describe you. So it tries to keep it lighthearted, but also give you a lot of real good content. The assessments take about 30 minutes to complete. They're very quick, very easy, but again, really gets deep into what your motivations are. Why do you get out of bed in the morning? Where do you get your energy? Both how do you get it and how are you losing that energy? How do you like to be led? How do you like to lead? How do you like to grow? How can you transform? And again, I found it to be very, very accurate. Considering I took this before I filled in anything from my profile. So it really had nothing to go off of as far as, the fact that I have a terminal degree or I have a background in education or project management, it really didn't have, the system had nothing to go off of than just my answers. And I found it to be exceptionally accurate. So I kind of touched on that career highway piece. So again, students are able to search for careers by a career that they're either interested in or a job cluster. So if they say, and especially in high school, they're like, I don't really know a specific job, but I know I want to be in education or I want to be in IT or business. They're able to search by that larger cluster and then drill down on specific careers that they might like. So they might say, yeah, I want to be a CEO. Yep, they make a ton of money. That's what I want to do. How do I get there? They're able to click on that, watch a short video.
To oversee the daily operations of an organization, top executive.
So each position has a video. They're all linked with the ONET job skills. So they're all interconnected. That's how we get a lot of our information around salary expectations and job outlook. It goes through different titles, different tasks, jobs that are open with under that umbrella. We're in the middle of an update right now that will make these location specific. So if someone says, yep, I'm in Minnesota, it will show you CEO positions that are available within Minnesota, as well as with the course trainings. So it will say if you're located in Burnsville, these are the programs closest to you that will align with this position. Then it runs through the education you need, knowledge, skills you need, job outlook, technology systems that you need. And again, I kind of go back to this update that we're doing. These new soft skills we're creating will link directly to this. So if someone's like, oh, I don't really have a lot of complex problem solving experience, they're going to then be able to select this and go to that content, take that course, and be better equipped within that area. So if someone, oops, what just happened? Likes a certain career, did I just lose it? Yes, I did. If someone likes a certain career, they're able to then, like I said, add it to their highway, and it will show them the roadmap to get from A to Z. So based on what I entered in my profile, I have a marketing manager up here. It currently says I'm a 50% fit for that current job. It gives you the salary range based on location. And then it tells you all the skills, technology, and knowledge areas that you need. Again, you're going to be able to look at these lists and say, ooh, I don't really have a lot around reading comprehension. You're going to be able to click from that and go out, take that quick hit course and get that check mark. And then the more students do, the more of these things they update, the smarter the system gets and the more customized the system gets. It will then, like I said, map out this pathway for them. So based on the information that I have entered, it's putting me kind of in this intermediate space. So it's telling me my first stop has these first type of positions available. And then you can go to, oops. So it's pushing me all over the place. And then, it tells you this is where you're wanting to go. Here are the other stops along the way. So this then, when they select, would show any certifications they would need and any jobs that they would need along that pathway. So again, it's completely available for free. There's no charge. You're able to also, if you're at a high school level, community level, and this is something that you'd want to put your students through, we set you up with kind of your own platform option, and then students enroll under that link, and then you're able to monitor what they're doing, how they're progressing. At the K-12 level, their profiles are locked. until they're 18. And then you have the option to unlock your profile. At that point, you're then searchable by employers. So employers can go in and say, yep, I need 5 cybersecurity analysts with this certification, this degree, in this location for this money. And then it spits out a laundry list of people that they can choose from and reach out to. Any other questions?
Melissa, I did have a question in the chat.
Yeah.
Asking, are the course modules available on the website or do they need to be requested? And that might be a multifaceted answer, depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah, so the 160 modules that we offer, I suggest shooting me an email so we can have a conversation about them, because there is such an extensive list to be available, so we can make sure we get you what you're looking for. Once you drill down on those courses, they're all in the MnState D2L system. And again, that's something that can be downloaded in a Common Course cartridge and then uploaded onto your LMS. Hopefully that answered the question.
Thank you.
It is something too, I mean, I can get you a list of all of the courses that are offered within those modules, if that would be helpful. If people would like to look through that, I believe we have a downloaded list of those courses.
I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to join late. I was taking my daughter to an appointment, but is the PowerPoint or the presentation available just to review? And then I was also wondering who's making the career pathways site? Who's creating the tools? Like, is this a local kind of system, or is it did you say it's a national system?
So we partner with a company called STEMfuse, and they have so we partner with them on a lot of our content. So our IT exploration platform, our cybersecurity courses are all held through their LMS platform. The reason for that, and I'm not sure if you work with one of the university systems, it's extremely hard on the Minnesota State side to get access to anyone who is not involved in the Minnesota State system. So for us, because we don't just work with the colleges and universities, we work with K-12, we work with community groups, we work with senior homes, we work with other people outside of individuals that already have a Star ID account. We needed another way to be able to get people that content in an easy format. The reason also is for especially K-12, we didn't want students or teachers having to have 15 different places they have to go to get content. So we can have teachers teaching our pathway. They can get ITX, they can get cyber, they can get the career highways modules, all on the same platform and the same shell for them. But awesome. So STEMfuse, they are, so they're located. So the gentleman that owns it is from South Dakota. He was originally Minnesota native, lives in South Dakota now. And so we have an amazing agreement with them that we help and partner with them to create content, and they give it to us for free. So anyone within the state of Minnesota gets free access to the content that we help them create. And so they're then able to use it outside the state of Minnesota if they'd like to.
Awesome. The question popped into my head when you said we're working on making this location-based for the career opportunities. Yep. And I thought that's a challenge if it's a national tool or something, but it's kind of homegrown.
So, the joys of AI, man, we can we can program it to take the profile location and filter out everything else and then only show what is closest within a certain area. And I've kind of touched on AI pulls in the job postings. So I believe this week we have 3.2 million active job postings right now on the site. That changes every week. So the great part with that is we've probably all experienced finding a perfect job, wanting to go and apply, and you get there and the job isn't there. You can't find it. it's closed, they're not accepting applications anymore, and it's sad and it is frustrating. This cycles all of that out so that you're not going to hit those roadblocks. And then when you find a position you want, it kind of runs through the same thing of titles and what you can expect. And it pulls in the whole job description and allows you to select to apply right from there. And it brings you to the direct posting. Any other questions at all?
I don't have any in the chat here, Melissa.
Okay.
But why don't we give it just a minute? If somebody has a question, feel free to unmute and ask.
And I can go ahead and get that list. And Mary, I don't know if I can just get it to you and you can disseminate it out to everyone. That's probably going to be the easiest way for us to do that, unless I'm really smart and can do it here in the next couple of minutes. We'll see how quick I am.
And somebody, I think it was Kim, asked if your slide deck would be available. Can you make that available to us as well?
Yes.
And I can distribute that too. So
okay. Yes, I can do that. I can get
Turns out I have a lot of questions about career highways because that's the part I saw.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I bet I might have questions about the other parts too.
Probably will.
Yep. Nope. And career highways is an hour-long conversation in and of itself. There were parts I didn't touch on as far as program searches as to help with that college search function. And that, students can kind of reach out to institutions directly from there. Again, location specific, that certification piece. So there's a lot that goes into career highways itself.
That was actually one of my questions, connecting to programs. If students could search programs that would help them in expanding their pathway toward a career. And then I was also wondering, and Mary, I don't want to dominate the time, so I want to watch for other people's questions, but I was wondering about usage. How do you get the word out for a program like this and for a tool like this? And then how utilized is it amongst, I think of K-12 students particularly, but then even people who maybe didn't go right to college or not sure what they want to do, looking for their next step, and they need some help figuring out what lights my fire.
Yeah. So really I do events like this. So I get in front of individuals and tell them what we do, who we are, what we have to offer. I attend way too many fairs at high schools and organizations, nonprofits. I think we have 2.5 weeks left of this month, and I have 4. For the second half of this month, I think I had 8 total this month. We will travel. I drove to Moorhead for a 2-hour meeting. And it's really just getting out in front of people. A lot of people think we're the Minnesota State IT department. So I have gotten emails to fix people's computers, or had people come up to me at different events and be like, my state computer doesn't work. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't help you with that. So it's really just trying to get people to know who we are. And so being a small team, we're limited in what we can do. So we partner with amazing organizations that help us do what we want to do, like MTN. We partner with Minnesota STEM Partnership, does a lot of our robotics. Sorry, my husband just walked in the door. My dog's going crazy. We partner with Minnesota STEM Partnership to do drone programs and robotics camps. And so we're able to get amazing people to help us do kind of the work that we need to do.
Yeah, the partnerships you've built are incredible. We do have a question in the chat, Melissa. What's the best way? This is a great one. What's the best way for unemployed workers wanting to update their IT skills on their own get started with these services?
So sending them through to our website is a great first start. They can shoot me an email. I can learn a little bit more about kind of where their skills are at and what they're looking for. Again, if it's around that job search, career highways, if it's around upskilling, depending on where they're looking, the Google certs are probably the first way to go. The great thing with the Google certs is that they, most of them are the pre kind of educational or boot camp that you need for a CompTIA, a Cisco, those larger industry certifications. So for instance, the Google project management certification is the boot camp needed to sit for the certificate for an assistant project manager or associate project manager, the CAMP. And then that CAMP then brings you to a full PMP certification. IT help desk, Google helps you sit for that Network Plus degree. Cybersecurity helps you sit for that CCST degree. So it's really starting there. One-off individuals, like I said, it's $10. If that's a barrier for anyone, they just have to tell me. I will gladly get them in there for free. I run the program, so I can do what I want with it. So I have no issues. I'm not going to let $10 be a barrier for someone to get that certification at all. So, again, and really, getting on our newsletter will let you know when we're starting to launch new programs, when we're launching new activities, new events that students can participate in. Anyone here is from 2-year or 4-year. We offer a cybersecurity defense competition for students. It's my favorite event that we host every year. Students form a team. They compete against real life computer hackers who are trying to hack into their fictitious company. And they partner and work together as a team over a weekend to stop them from being able to do that and shut down different parts of their companies. It's very cool. It's a nationwide program, so they compete through levels up to the national competition. Lake Superior and Pine Tech have done extremely well at both the regional and the national competitions. For this, we're going to be launching a 2-year program soon. And then I would like to look at a high school version of this as well. And even a mentoring opportunity where we can bring high schoolers into the competition to partner with our college students to kind of see what we're doing. So really being on that newsletter, we don't bombard you, I promise. We're not going to send you an email a day. Once a month, we'll send you an email about kind of what we have going on. Typically, it's like either what we're doing, a blog post about something happening within the industry. So for instance, we have a blog coming out this month around cybersecurity, since Cybersecurity Month. An email just went out to launch this Cisco Cyber Learn-a-thon. So yeah, being on that, being on our social media account, again, is where you're going to find kind of the most up-to-date things that are going on. And again, if we're offering anything, we are low cost, no cost. So if there's ever a cost associated with it becomes a barrier, just let us know. And we can definitely get around that.
Amazing.
Questions?
Yeah. Any other questions for Melissa?
I know Mary put my email in there. Feel free to reach out to me if there's anything you want to learn a little bit more about. If you want to look through the Google certifications, you think one of those might fit your students, let me know. I can pop you into our course. You can look around, see what the IT exploration, we can get you in there. Career Highways is, again, it's free. I will type in the website in the chat. Go in there, set up a profile as a student, so then you get that experience. If you set it up as an employee or set it up as a instructor or an employer, you're going to get a different dashboard. So you won't get kind of the real experience of what a student would receive. And play around in it. You know, if you run into stuff, the great thing is we just launched this last year. So we're still in the process of making updates. refining it, making it better, making it more intuitive. For instance, we're going to be creating a chat bot that's going to be a part of it. So people run into roadblocks, there's someone there that can provide assistance for them. But then we take feedback. You know, we have groups that use it that come back and say, man, I really wish it could do this. Okay, great. Let's see if it can do that. Let's check it out and see what we can make happen. So that's a great part of it, being early in the inception, being part of the creation of this, as we can advocate for those updates and those changes that help and make more sense to make it a better product. No, I thank you guys for letting me come and invade your meeting today. Again, reach out if you have questions, comments, direct students my way. If there's anything you think might be a good fit, let me know. We'd love to partner with you guys and see what we can get put in your institutions. And yeah, I look forward to talking to you guys again.
Melissa, thank you so much. And I am going to go ahead and I'll stop the recording.